Our most recent parkrun day out took us to Plymvalley parkrun in Devon.
So in this video we'll give you a full course point of view and take you through some of the history of the area in which the parkrun runs. And it's a cracker. We really enjoyed this one and you'll see why.
3, 2, 1, go!
So as you can see, you start on a road and you quickly go under a disused railway bridge and swing a left. There's ample parking just to the right of where we've gone left in the National Trust car park. So we're now on a really interesting part of the course under another railway bridge. And what you can see to the right is the remains of the quarry canal. There are 3 different types of transport from the 1800s that we're going to see on this run. The canal, soon we'll see the remains of a wagonway, and then for 2 kilometres or 2.5 kilometres of the run we'll be running along an old railway line. So you can clearly see the canal to the right, and down the embankment to the left is the River Plym, from where the parkrun and the whole area takes its name.
So the first kilometre was rather rocky, but in summer and with it being dry, road shoes were perfectly fine.
You can see we're running over some stone slabs. There's a few sections of these along this route. Now this is the remains of an old wagonway. To get the stone from the quarry down towards Plymouth, horses would pull wagons along a primitive railway before the days of steam, and then, as you'll see in a minute when we go into the old railway, that was replaced by a more traditional railway, so more stone slabs there. So yeah, I'd set off with the intent of trying to run a competitive time here. I soon thought better of it. Horses for courses. This for me is the sort of course to enjoy the surroundings. Now, we had been staying in nearby Cornwall this week, and there were several possible parkruns we could do. We watched loads of running YouTube of different parkruns. People highly recommended the Eden project in Cornwall. That's about 40 minutes from where we're staying, but for some reason, having seen a couple of videos of this course, I was drawn towards it. I think it's the rich history.
It's also a beautiful area surrounded by lovely trees. You have the sound of running water. It's just really delightful.
And I believe one of the oldest parkruns in Devon. The first run here took place in September 2012. This was run number 595. I'm not sure if there are any older parkruns in Devon. I'm sure somebody can help me out in the comments below. So the Plymvalley parkrun is a 2 and a bit lap course. The first kilometre is along this trail by the canal to the right. After a kilometre you've got a very steep hill, which you'll see in a minute. You can see on the map there. You then come back down parallel to the river, but on an old railway line, which is all tarmac. You drop down, you go up this section again. You can see some of those stone slabs in the ground there. You go up again, but instead of turning right back to the finish, you do half a kilometre out, half a kilometre back, which takes you to a lovely old viaduct, well worth visiting after. And then you've essentially got 1 and a bit kilometres all the way back down, and you finish exactly where you started. So 1 kilometre out, 1 kilometre down, 1 kilometre out, a little bit of an out and back up to the viaduct, and then a kilometre and a bit all the way to the finish. More of those stone slabs there. So really tucking in now, just running a strong aerobic pace, probably in dawn zone 3, probably my high zone 2, low zone 3 if you're into those sorts of things, and enjoying these beautiful surroundings in Devon on this July Saturday morning. Yes, this canal to our right had a short-lived shelf life. It was opened in 1829, but by 1839 it had fallen into disuse because this tramway, which originally ran from further south, was extended all the way up to the quarries, which are a little bit in front of us, maybe about a mile in front of us. So the tramway replaced the canal, and then the railway we'll go on to in a minute replaced the tramway.
As promised, after 1 kilometre you get the hill.
And this is quite a hill. In fact, so much so is it quite a hill that it gets its own special sign alerting you to the fact. Yes, it really is quite an incline here. It starts steep, gets steeper, twists around one way, twists around the other. You can see people here bending into the hill. You can see me bending into the hill. I've got the camera on my cap. My head is firmly planted on those rocks. Well, not on those rocks. My eyes are planted on those rocks, making sure that my head doesn't plant on those rocks. I don't want to fall over. And it just grinds on and on. Now remember folks, when you're coming up this the first time, trying to put some effort in, you will have to come up this hill a second time too. If you like running up hills, it's a cracker. I generally have quite strong quads for running up hills. If you don't like running up hills, it's a challenge. But then what goes up must come down, and in about a kilometre's time, we have a little steep downhill too. So we gradually crest the hill, follow the sign to the right, it starts to flatten out, people can get the breath, there's a little drop, and it takes you down onto the old railway line, of which more in a little while.
For somebody quite fit, I nearly came to a standstill. I had to take little mincing steps to get to the top.
So sign there when you get to the top. On the first loop you turn right, and what do we have here? Yes, we have 1 kilometre of fast flowing tarmac. In fact, it's slightly downhill going this way. Thank goodness for those railway builders of the 1800s. In fact, this was the Plymouth to Launceston branch of the Great Western Railway. Just taking the camera out there to check it is still working. Yes, it is, back in. So yes, this is the Plymouth to Launceston branch of the Great Western Railway. It was opened in 1883 and closed finally in 1962, as were many railways.
We loved this route so much that the next day we decided to come back and do our longer run on it.
Yes, in the course of 5 miles out and 5 miles back, we crossed over 4 viaducts and ran through 1 railway tunnel and saw lots of other railway bits and pieces too. In fact, we filmed the whole lot and we'll be putting that up on our other channel, Past to the Past, where we explore the past in Britain. If you fancy subscribing to that, we'd love to see you there. So yes, reasons for parkrun tourism. We've been to, I think, 301 or 302 different parkrun venues now, and we love visiting different places. We especially love it when we find a parkrun like this that not only is a new place to us, but is a place full of fascination and full of history and full of interest. Yeah, sometimes we go to places where we think, I could run pretty fast there, I could maybe run a sub 20, get a good age grading in Dawn's case, but we chose this one because out of all the ones we researched in the area, this offered us most, not just in terms of the run itself, but as you can see, it's wonderfully varied and very challenging in different ways through different parts of the course, but also a fantastic place to absorb yourself in history. Some high-fiving going on there. Yeah, what would make a park run for you? We did look at some in this area which have absolutely stunning views, which we did consider, but I think the downhills battering my quads would not have been the best thing. So when you go on holiday, what factors influence your choice of parkrun if you can get to one? Is it the closest to where you're staying so you can get back and enjoy the rest of the holiday with your family or friends? Or is it somewhere historic? Is it somewhere fast? Let us know what choices influence your choice of parkrun when you are away from home. So we've run 1k along the Canal trail at the bottom, we've run 1k on the railway path at the top, so it's now time to go downhill. And most people have an okay downhill technique, like this lady passing me, and that fella, yeah, just bouncing down the hill, and on picking away down carefully, the fella in the 50 shirt. I think that's about 6 people gone past me, and about 30 to 40 yards of downhill. I am the world's worst downhill runner. But now we're back on the Canal bit of the trail, the stones there from the old wagon way, so we're into the 3rd K. I'll actually give you the splits in the first 1 and 2k, although we're not particularly running for time today.
There you go, tracking for around 25 minutes.
And I'm so keen to showcase these stone slabs from the old wagon way, I'm taking the camera out of my cap, so I can point it down towards these old wagon way slabs made of slate taken from the quarry. As I said, put me very much in mind of these ones we came across and filmed close to where we live earlier in the year. So despite this being the second big weekend of the 6-week holiday season, attendance was relatively normal here. There were 225 runners today. Normally it gets anywhere between about 150 and 250. There was a big spike of 346 a few weeks ago. Anybody know why that was? Were other local events cancelled, or was there something special going on here? Just look at those slabs there, 200 years of history under your feet, and a parkrun thrown in. What's not to like? So as I take my brain 200 years back into the past, we're going to take you 2 minutes and 40 into the future, where we reach the bottom of that hill again, bending around to the right. So remember, this is the second time we're being up here. And for all my woes at running downhill, I actually quite enjoy running uphill. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the fact generally I can overtake people but then lose places coming back down. So head down once again, nose to the grindstone. Look at that fella, he's bouncing up. Must have some very good gym leg strength there, so well done him. We're still climbing up this very large hill, but remember, once we get to the top, we don't have to climb anymore. I think some people are really struggling now, legs full of lactic acid, and we're still climbing and still climbing, and I think we're just about to crest the top of the hill now. That's right, and then the world opens up onto a flat path. We take a right and then a left on to the railway trail again.
Do remember to turn left at this point because you don't want a 4K parkrun.
Bonus railway bridge here. As we head up towards the viaduct, you can see the leaders coming back down the other way. I always like that part of parkrun where you can see how different people are getting on. Yeah, parkrun does very much rely on people being able to follow the instructions on the course, being able to follow the marshal instructions and the course description given on the website. We do sometimes see or hear of people going wrong on parkrun. Oh look, there's a big quarry office there on the right, lovely old building. Yeah, we do sometimes see people inadvertently going wrong at parkrun and carding a 4K or sometimes a 6K, it has been known. So yeah, always take note of instructions and try and look at the course description on the website before you set off for parkrun. Just about to pass over the Canal viaduct now, and what a glory it is. You don't really get a good view of it when you are running across it, so what I've done is taken a couple of drone shots from another YouTuber, Vegan Runner. Do go and check out his video of this parkrun, and it's good to see him uploading videos again now. So you can see here the viaduct passing over the River Plym, and some amazing drone piloting that Lee did here to get this shot of the viaduct where we're running across now. So yeah, these out and back sections on courses, always lovely to see people on the way up, people on the way down. I think two sisters there just on the way down who often run very well at parkrun and often win it too. Yeah, people of all running abilities, people with all different sorts of goals, different sorts of motivations for being there, but everybody giving it a good shot and enjoying the lovely surroundings of Plymvalley parkrun.
And eventually, if you don't want to end up in Tavistock, you do a U-turn here.
And then it's full steam ahead, as it were, for the final 1.5 kilometres down this lovely old railway line. Little removal of the camera from the cap, so you can see what it looks like from behind the scenes. Yes, parkrun certainly takes us to some beautiful places, and we're forever grateful to the volunteers on the ground who make it happen week after week. Back across the viaduct now with superb views on either side across the Plym Valley. Little lad in the football top there making a valiant effort to not let us past him. Big surge there. Maintaining a steady tempo throughout, but taking time to drink in these lovely surroundings. We've still got the little fellow with us here as we go under this lovely railway bridge. It's great to see so many people of all ages enjoying parkrun. This is the bit on the right where you've just come up the hill, so we are definitely in to the last kilometre now. There are obviously other trail users on a Saturday morning, but it's not too busy on here. You see the odd cyclist and dog walker. We did see of issues at another parkrun, one in South Wales, of faster runners, slower runners, members of the public, cyclists all getting in a tangle. But no issues here, lovely wide paths and everybody respectful of everybody else. Dawn on an overtaking manoeuvre here just to spice up this final kilometre, turn it into a progressive tempo run. So how do you like to run your parkruns? Is it always for the best time you can? Is it as a training run sometimes? Is it as a social run? Let us know in the comments below. We like to do all different types of effort at parkrun, and today was a progressive tempo run, enjoying the scenery but getting something out of it training wise too. Just about to take that final downhill before sharp left to the finish, and guess what? My camera runs out, but guess what? Dawn also has a camera on her, so we get some footage of the end of this run. And that's me in the distance, having dropped several yards on this downhill once again. And a spicier final kilometre there, as you can see.
So there you go, a wonderful morning out at the beautiful Plym Valley.
Yes, thank you once again to all the volunteers on the ground who make parkrun happen week after week. Is Plym Valley parkrun one you've done, or is it one that you will put on your bucket list based on what you've seen on this video and our enjoyment of it ourselves? Let us know in the comments below. So, until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.